My dad inspired me to build this automatic no-waste quail feeder that can feed the quails for up to a month. Yes, you heard that right, up to a month. And it is made from some scrap wood and an old metal feeder. So let's get started. First, you just need to build a box with an angled bottom. So when you fill up the food, then gravity will pull the food towards the front of the box. And you can make it to fit your own cage. This is the dimension that fits into my quail pen. This is the front part. This is where the food is going to fall out. You don't want it to be too wide, then too much food will fall out and there will be waste. But you don't want for it to be too narrow, because then the food would get stuck and it would not fall. So it's very important to get this opening just right. I found that 1-inch opening works for the crumble that I'm using. And also, I would imagine the amount of humidity you have in the air, if your quails are outside, that will affect how the food will fall. So here is how I made the feeder part where the birds access the feed. I just took one of those metal feeders, and I pound it flat because I wanted to bend it over a bit. Now flatten the edges as well, because those edges will need to fit into a groove. Next, we're going to cut a piece of wood and make a groove so that the metal part can fit in, and also attach 2 small pieces of wood to prevent the food from falling out. I'm sure there are easier and better ways to do this than how I'm doing it, but this is the only way I know how to do it, and I only have access to a circular saw, so bear with me. So I'm attaching my piece of wood to a 2x4, and I drew a straight line where I want the groove to be. Now I'm using a circular saw and making a mark on where the saw is going to be. Now I'm attaching another piece of wood as a guide for my circular saw. Okay, I did it. It's not the prettiest thing, but it'll get the job done. Now it's time to assemble the bottom part of the feeder, which includes the grooved piece of wood, and I added a few barriers to prevent if there's any spills. If there are any spills that comes out, it will be cut right there in the front area. And here's how everything fits together. I attached the metal part to the wood there with some screws, which I didn't show it here. So I had to cut out the side of my cage there in order to fit in the feeder, but in the end it saved a lot of space because the feeder is actually outside the cage. The only part that's inside is where the metal feeder with the holes are. That's the only part that's really inside. The box fits perfectly. I secured it with some screws, and the birds learned to use it really quickly. There was a little bit of spill, but the birds picked it up in the overspill area there. And with the second one that I made the feeder a little bit higher, and there was hardly any spills at all. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments, and thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Have a great day. Bye!